Just a reminder, next week will be Thanksgiving on Thursday. That means the market will close on Thursday and early on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Therefore, most of the trading is going to be pretty light. It looks like next week, hopefully, we're going to have some type of a early sell-off. I'm hoping on the Nasdaq, hoping we can get anywhere close to this 38.2 level, where this 20-day moving average, somewhere around here. Any sell-off here, you can see this 5-day moving average is also close to the 38.2. This would be the ideal scenario, if we're lucky, if I'm lucky, either Monday, Tuesday, to get the sell off for the Black Friday rally, which will hopefully it's going to be light trading comes Wednesday and obviously Friday. Most of those days, but I would think Wednesday and Friday, you're not going to see much movement. It's going to be rather technical, and I can pick up something on Amazon. But I'm hoping Amazon, if lucky, um, anywhere going down to this level, or if it actually get below this level, which I don't think, there's a fairly strong support you can see at about the 30.85, and there's support there because they know if it breaks it, it's gonna go down to 30.50, which would means 30.50 is I guess, yeah, this level around. So yeah, there should be support around anywhere around here. May hit this. Now, if the sell-off is pretty bad on the QQQ, it may penetrate a little bit. But for Black Friday, the play I'm going to do is this December 18 puts on the 3100. If I can get this put to be anywhere close to this line of interest, this is the 100-day moving average on the puts, the 3100. Anywhere here at 123. I'm hoping to sell that. And hopefully by December 18th, it's going to be above 3100, which would mean I can collect 12,000. A decent collection. This is the type of play that I am looking forward to in this type of environment longer term. I think Amazon is poised for some type of a bounce. Eventually, there's just a lot of shorts in Amazon right now. Maybe because Bezos sell that 8 billion worth of his shares, and those shares are now collected by market maker, hedge funds, day traders, momentum traders, and not a lot of, I mean, before those shares were being held in Amazon or in Bezos' account. So now that they're out there, and 8 billion's worth of share is quite a bit. There's some fund managers and whatnot who don't even have 8 billions to manage, and this is just Amazon stocks alone that are now out there in the market to get manipulated, to get, sold off to anytime there's weakness. And now this obviously weakness in Amazon, but weakness becomes strength, just like Tesla. Look at that. Tesla just looks weak, weak. Now, Tesla did show a higher low kind of scenario and the support at the 50. So, I mean, it's so funny how it just lines up like that. Right at the 50. It's like they knew to get it right to the 50-day moving average. And then the news break out on S&P inclusion, and it just blew up a huge short squeeze all the way above the new high. So anyone who held it or bought during this run up and got stuck with it, it's a lot of pain to hold on to. But eventually you're able to get out. Let's see, about 3 months later, 3 to 4 months later, and that's just the way it goes. I would not be buying Tesla at this level. Even at this level, it seems heavy, but now, um, obviously, with the S&P inclusion, that play was the correct play to get the short squeeze. This is a huge momentum run up. If you play the options on this, huge gains. So that's really what I'm looking for on Amazon as well. You can see it's holding this lower low kind of scenario. Same thing with a hopefully some kind of support on the 100, which is weaker than the 50, obviously weaker than the 50, but it's still a decent support line. And with the results from Black Friday, with the stimulus, probably announcement of the stimulus, and some other development, like reducing COVID, which I would think COVID would start to reduce. Here's a trend for COVID, obviously going up, obviously new high 200,000 a day. But I feel, and this is just my belief, that this is because of the election rally, the election record turnout in the elections, people, and this is probably gonna turn the opposite way. Comes early December, mid December. So that's poised. Once they see this flattening out, I may already start to flatten out. Maybe next week will be the final week where this runs up to maybe 214K, whatever it may be, and then it starts to hold and reduce in COVID. That obviously would reduce the sentiment of the COVID play, and that would be a spark in the stock market, along with the stimulus, along with end of the year, December Q4, Christmas rally, Santa Claus rally is what they call it. Amazon is poised for a decent run up. How big of a run up? Who knows? The point is, if it gets to my price target, obviously it's 3,300. That obviously would give me the 1,200 on these puts, but also I would be buying some calls. Don't know which one. Even the 3,200, now I don't, potentially it can get to 250, but obviously it won't. Even if it gets to 100, that's a double if we get a decent sell off on Monday, Tuesday, hopefully Monday, Tuesday, where Amazon get close to this 100-day moving average. I will maybe incrementally starts to add. Dollar cost averaging is the only way to play. Now, maybe December 18th is too early. I may do the end of the year, December 31. Not sure whether I may even partition it out to December 18, 24, and 31, buy it in pieces. So that would be the strategy I'm playing for because I just feel like eventually Amazon is going to run. You can see the support on the 20-day moving average here, here, here. Um, and the Feds are gonna continue to print, especially for the Santa Claus rally. You can see the Feds continue to print, and it's actually kind of going up. Surprisingly, the total assets, they're continuing to expand in their promos or their FMOC purchasing. So it continues to go up. This is, I guess, 7 million a day, I guess. I'm not sure how this works. But the point is the trend is what we're really looking at. And the trend you can see ever since the crash of 2008 has been going up, and this is why the stock market is up. And now it's at a record level. Stock market is also close to a record level. Next year, this will probably starts to contract. Interest rates starts to go up as the vaccines comes out. This will lead to a huge market correction, crash, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's just bound to happen. There's no way around it, right? I mean, they can't just continue to keep the total assets purchasing at this ex really inflated level. This is only justifiable during COVID and these type of maverick events where eventually we get a solution to it, and they got to retract or contract, whatever you want to call it, and that will lead to a crash. There's just no way around it. But for right now, the final play would be Amazon for the Santa Claus rally, the Black Friday rally. Not sure when it's gonna happen, but just like Tesla, right? You never know when it's gonna happen, and then it happens, and then it just flies. That's just, I mean, they can gap this thing up so high. There's so many shorts in Amazon right now. I mean, the way, look how this just gaps up almost like 100 points, pretty much, right? 30, 450 all the way. Yeah, it's almost like 100 point gap. I mean, I hate to miss that, right? Because there's nothing you can do when they gap up like that. And then you just feel like you're chasing because it can retrace back and whatever, right? So you want to get it for as far as my strategy, you want to get it down here, date it out a little bit, date it out, in piecemeal, dollar cost average, maybe every once a week. December 18, 24, 31. Eventually, this will have to bounce. This will have to fly, gap up, and just run, just squeeze out them shorts. So many shorts, it's just gonna have to squeeze out. And that's where I'm gonna hopefully collect that 1200 inputs and also something on the calls, on the options. That's the way to play it, in my opinion. Now, there's other covered play I think that looks pretty good. Zoom obviously missed this little run up on Friday. I'm not sure how I missed it. I mean, this was pretty obvious play, but right now it's sitting at the 50 and 20-day moving average. I mean, I don't know, it's just so perfect the way it lines up that, I mean, when you're right here, you should have saw that coming. But yeah, they lined it up. Hopefully any retracement on Monday, Tuesday, I can get something on Zoom. Target is gonna be 38.2, maybe even break 38.2 if I'm lucky. So that's the target. Intermediate target is this 450 level. Um, Baba, man, missed this one too. Because I was hoping it would get to this 20-day moving average. That's unfortunate. Last week that it didn't. Even if it gotten close, I might have, if this tail was a little bit longer, it would have been an obvious, right? This tail was so obvious. It's just that it didn't get close enough to the 200-day moving average. I was hoping maybe a retracement and close enough. And then look at it, it just pushed. Obviously, this push, I mean, in hindsight, everything is 2020, but this is option expiration. The third week of November is the monthly expiration, and there was just so many puts buyers that benefited from this, that this bounce is an option play. Now, right now, it's sitting at the 100, hoping for a retracement. Unfortunately, with a retracement, you never know how far it's going to retrace, and it can very well retrace back to the 20, and that would be pretty bearish because this 1 day event may just be related to option expiration. So, but it can also catch momentum, and that's just the way it works because the shorts are on the squeeze right now, so it can definitely catch momentum and continue to run. Unfortunately, when you miss it, now it's just difficult to determine what direction it's gonna go. But Zoom is still there's still opportunity for Zoom. Shopify is the other one that is starting to run, though there is this trend right here. So Shopify may retrace. This is a covered play, obviously. So there's this little trend line. So hopefully a retracement back to 61.8. Roku broke out. This is a covered play. It's gonna continue to push. I don't like to chase. So we'll see. I'm hoping for Roku to retrace once covered starts to retrace. TTD is another covered play, similar to Roku. It's breaking out. Big C is pretty much dead in the water with the secondary offering, but eventually, how long will it take to be down here? Maybe a month before it's gonna get back to 100. So it's gonna be a while, but this time to dollar cost average into this guy. It's gonna form a base here. MasterCard is a decent play, but yeah, for Thanksgiving at least, it's a decent play. So how much further can it go for COVID? It's gonna go down if the market go down. So you can see the SPY is poised to go down, obviously, because of COVID. If you're lucky. The thing with this is it's so hard to determine if that's going to get down to this level. You can only hope that it gets down to this level. And then you got the Black Friday Christmas rally. So that's just, if it doesn't get down to this rally and it starts to go up, then you just feel like you're chasing, right? But yeah, with the VIX the way it is right now, all the way down here, and you can see this is the spike, and you can say, well, it's gonna bounce back up, but look how long it takes before there's another bounce. This thing is down here for days on end. It may be down here for a while before it bounce back up, and it may be next year before it bounce back up. So, you just gotta go with that covered play, not and covered stocks, and also with the Black Friday Christmas rally, kind of scenario. Safer play would be like Pfizer, which I do have. I have Pfizer. I have Boeing. I have what do I other stuff I have I can't remember right now, but the solar stocks, those are gonna be pretty good too going forward. Those are gonna with obviously with Biden most likely winning the presidential election. Those solar stocks with Sunrun, First Power, Solar Power, I mean, and First Solar. Those are the one. But this Pfizer play, pretty solid play. I don't know why it's reversing. But eventually, you can dollar cost average this if it goes down further. I mean, eventually, this is gonna run. This is a solid company. And yeah, this lower low kind of, I mean not lower low, support higher low. This low is this high, this low is higher, this low is higher, this low is higher. So yeah, man, this is a decent support. So playing Pfizer is good. Other plays, Norwegian Cruise Line. These will eventually run, but how far can it get down? It's probably gonna bounce around. But eventually, this guy, for next year, you want this in your portfolio because this is gonna go back up to where it will go. Who knows? It should be at least 30, but the economy is gonna continue to be weak, even with the vaccine. However, even with a weak economy, people will want to start to go back to the cruises because no one has been on a cruise for a year, 2 years before you get the vaccine. So the pent up demand is there. Beyond Meat, technically it looks good, but it's still high compared to where it was. But I like this company if for a longer term play. Obviously, Beyond Meat has a lot of interest in it, and eventually it should continue to go up. especially with liberals and the Democrats in play. A lot of it favoring, non-meat um, substitute diet would be in favor. And of course, you got the EVs. I mean, they look so freaking expensive, like Neo, Lin, all these EV plays are so expensive. So, I mean, I just hate to chase. But yeah, they can continue to go. It's just that's just not my style. I'd rather stay with the solar company. This nice little retractment. This is the one that I have: First Solar, Sunrun, and solar power. Although solar power is relatively high. JKS is another one. Looks like a decent play. Um, you know, Eventually it's gonna pop. And these solar companies are very similar to the EVs. They're green, and there's a lot more of them that I need to start to monitor. And start to reshift the portfolio in favor of those companies. So Humanis, obviously, I mean, it looks like a huge retracement, but this one well, it just still looks expensive to me, compared to where it is. So, but yeah, who knows? Costco is another one that's obviously expensive. Lily, already bounced back. I do want to oh, start accumulating Biogen, because it's just, this stock eventually, how many more weeks? It may stay down here for 1, 2, 3 more weeks, whatever it may do. But eventually, start to get some accumulation, because I mean, this is really the bottom, right? It's not gonna go much further down. So if you're lucky, you can get it down further, and eventually just hold on to it, and it will eventually gain favor, and that's just how it works with these type of stocks. The other one is VeriSign. Now VeriSign probably, let's see, yeah, it kind of already bounced, so now it's going back down. This kind of company, this is like a cyclical stock, or not a cyclical, but a channeling stock, where you can see there's just it just channels. Now the channel isn't perfect, but right now it's at the lower end of a jagged channel. So you can eventually get it. If you can get it here, you can get it down lower, and eventually it's gonna go up above, some type of midline to a higher channel. And that's what I would get you know, if it if the sell-off continues next week. Um, Qualcomm is expensive. Obviously, AMD is expensive. Boeing, yeah, looks expensive. I did actually got out of this one near the top. So I'm looking to get back in, hopefully. Now, obviously, even if I get here, it looks expensive. It can go all the way down to here. So, but what can you do if it finds support here? You can miss out on a huge run. So I just have to get a piece here and hope that it bounces. If it continues down, yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes these plays are not as obvious as it looks. Facebook. Surprisingly, this is pretty weak, given that this is a solid covered play for social medium, especially with Snap. Snap is still up there. Yeah, look at that. Way up there. Twitter, it should be way up. Well, Twitter is actually down, so not sure why. But yeah, Facebook increasing covered play, maybe because of the weak economy. Advertisement is kind of low, but You know what? Eventually, it's gonna run. It's still a favorite amongst us. Any of the Fang stock is still gonna be a favorite for day trader, momentum player, and there's always shorts that can get squeezed. So what am I looking for? I mean, let's look at Google real quick. Yeah, still up there. Well, obviously the biggest play I'm looking for is Amazon, and Zoom. I do have overstock. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna add to this because this kind of run up. Um, I mean, I do think this is gonna pop and run higher for the Thanksgiving, Christmas rally. So I do have the overstock, and of course, the solar company. Sunrun is the yeah, this one didn't pop up, but anyway, uh, yeah, I lost this guy. That's funny. Um, Let me try to duplicate it and hopefully um it will pop back up. Going with the daily, right? So let's go back to the daily and 6 month. And bring it over here. Yep. So yeah, Sunrun is the one that I like. Where are those right here? This is Fastly actually. This one is actually a decent play, trying to break out. So Fastly is, yeah, actually that's a nice one too. But Sunrun is the one that I may continue to add. Is breaking out. This one looks very nice. Increased volume. Yeah, and of course JKS. This one looks like potentially breaks out. Yeah, and if you want to go with the expensive one, then solar power, sun power is the most expensive. And I probably won't go with neighbors so expensive. Valario. Yeah, Valario finding support anywhere here. I mean, this is obviously the vaccine play. And eventually this will start to run when the COVID starts to retrace. So if I'm lucky, the COVID will, follow the direction that I expect, which would be around early December. You're gonna see a retracement. Um, you're gonna see a retracement, flattening of the curve, and then going lower for COVID. That's the play that I have. Yeah, so this is Amazon obviously, and here it is establishing a lower low on the highs. I mean a lower high. So this hopefully on Monday will break this line and get down to here. Break this right here. So Monday, Tuesday, hoping to get something down here for the Thanksgiving run, the Christmas rally, playing it longer term. Let me just go through the indexes real quick. SPY obviously looks like it wants to go down. DIA, this is a support line. IWM is still strong. Semiconductor is still strong. Retail, yeah, retail, hopefully, yeah, so it looks like everything wants to go to a technical level anywhere around here on Monday, Tuesday, and that's obviously with the increase in COVID. And then you get that Thanksgiving run, the Christmas rally, so that will be the final push up. It may continue to push up next year, but let's just see what happens. How strong would it be the push up for the end of the year rally, the Santa Claus rally? Who knows? But yeah, if it's good, you can benefit quite a bit if you position for it. Which that's what I'm positioning for. I just don't think COVID is gonna continue to go up, to be honest. I mean, Who knows? I may be wrong. This may be lost and it just continue to go up. I just don't think so. I think the containment in place will start to go into effect. People more conscientious of protecting themselves and doing what it is to protect their family, and the closures and whatnot for bars and the things. The other thing that's probably going to happen that will benefit Amazon is some of the malls and closure next week that may start to announce, and also the increase in COVID. That's gonna probably leak some news about, online shopping gonna be record online shopping, record Black Friday deals, and that's just gonna benefit Amazon. So this guy is poised for some sort of run. It can't be down here forever. Come on, this is just like Tesla, eventually it got to run. But obviously Tesla was in a more favorable position because you can see this. I mean, looking at it on hindsight, even though I thought it was lost, I think that Battery Tuesday, one of this was a Battery Tuesday that I thought essentially Tesla was lost. Well, I'm obviously wrong because technically you can see it just continued to hold at the 50 day, and then S&P inclusion, boom. So play for Amazon, pretty much support at the 100 day, support at the 100, support at the 100, and then early next week support at the 100. Record news on Black Friday's deal, Cyber Monday, talk of the stimulus, boom, it's just gonna run. And other stocks like Amazon will obviously benefit. Overstock, uh, yeah, Overstock, that will benefit. And there's other places like Overstock that I'm not thinking about right now. But Amazon, yeah, that's the strategy I have in mind. Yeah.